And we're so glad you chose to be here today. Episode 7.
Oh my goodness.
Who would have thought, right?
That's a lot of episodes.
Some would beg to differ, but it's exciting for us.
For us.
It's exciting for us. We've been pretty consistent.
We've been so consistent. We haven't missed one Friday.
Well, except for the holiday season.
For the holidays.
Yeah, except for the holiday season. But hello, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Talk Doctor Live. It is finally Friday.
Oh my goodness.
Woo! We made it. Once again.
The weeks go by so quick. We've been so like you said, we've been consistent with the show, but it also just shows how quickly the weeks go by, and what's the word I'm looking for? It holds us like accountable. Gives us a good routine.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just kind of saying behind the scene that we have to put this into perspective as to why we're doing this. So what exactly is Ask the Talk Doctor Live? If you are joining us for the first time, we decided that this was a necessary platform because so many people are hurting, are suffering, are going through just so much stress. The world seems like it's upside down, but actually the world is as it should be. And that might be hard to hear, but we just want to be a voice, to be able to offer support, to be able to let you know that you matter, to be able to answer your questions that you might have that you may not otherwise have an outlet for, to just be that source of support for you as much as we can. We're a mother-daughter duo. Proud to say that my beautiful co-host Star Brianna is also my daughter and a very wise advisor. She gives you the youth perspective while I give the perspective from a clinician's perspective. I am Dr. Dacia P. Hastings, also known as the Talk Doctor, and I'm a psychotherapist, speaker, consultant, and life coach. Also the creator of Stress Free Talk RX.
Download it, people.
Download it. You'll find it on our website, www.thetalkdr.com. And also the creator of this wonderful show as well, Ask the Talk Doctor Live. You know, we both produce this. And then I have Power Talks with the Talk Doctor. So these can all be found on YouTube. Check them out. Tell a friend. But, you know, as I said before, this is a place where you can just come and be.
And feel good. Feel good.
So.
Or feel however. So to be is to feel good, but also to feel sad and to feel however you feel. So come and just come.
You feel.
Come and just come.
Come as you are.
Come and be.
Yes. Whatever you feel in the moment, at the time that you are here, just come and just be.
Yeah.
So today's theme, well, before we do that, I introduced myself. Tell the people a little bit about you if they're joining us for the first time.
Sure. I'm Star Brianna. I am into marketing. I'm a content creator. I love developing brands, pushing people to get from point A to point wherever they're trying to get. I love pulling out that part of them that they kind of keep hidden or only do like portray in the shower or hidden in the closet somewhere. I kind of pull that out and like bring light to it so that their brands can shine.
Yeah. And she does an awesome job at that. So I'm so proud of her. Also proud of her creativity for, even helping my brand, The Talk Doctor. So check out Star Brianna as well. We have a wonderful episode here for you today. And if you haven't already done so, call up a friend and tell them, hey, log on to Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube and catch our live broadcast here. Today's theme is what's in a name.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be doing today with that topic?
Yeah, what's in a name? Our names are so powerful. Whether you think that of yourself or not, I hope that today's show will just make you want to just hold yourself to a high just regard. Your name, so throughout different cultures and even in the Bible, names are related to our reputation, to honor. Jesus received his name through a prophetic, message about himself that he was going to save people from their sins. And that's similar to, the way that parents name us when they find out about us. Or even some parents have been dreaming of being parents all of their lives, and they know already what they're going to name their child, because they can just feel it. They
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, like, how did you how did you name your children?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great question. So of course, you're my first, and your name fits you. Being my first, you're named Star Brianna, which star is a heavenly body. And it's held in high regard. I mean, what does a star do? It shines. And your second name, she has two first names, Star Brianna. Second name, Brian. Brian is the male version of Brianna, and it means strong. So a strong star, imagine that. And I have to say that despite everything that you have unfolded here on this platform and watching you grow, you've always symbolize a quiet strength. And so I really see you as somebody who shines, even though you're not the loudest in the room, even though that you are not this flamboyant, ostentatious type person who has to be seen before they're heard. You have this way of just shining and lighting up a room because of your name. And so I just remember the stars in the ceiling in your room as a baby. Yeah, I don't know if you can remember that.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
This topic is so important to me. I remember all of that. So I thank you for naming me that, for thinking that of me from the time that I was born, for putting those stars on my ceiling and knowing that I would shine.
Yeah. Because I want you to shine beyond the ceiling.
Yeah.
I want you to be able, and as we said today, the reason why this theme is so important, we want all of you to feel like you are stars within your own right. When you think about how you got your name, and if you're, write to us in a comment and tell us, how you got your name, or even what traditions were followed to name you, because I love that in some cultures, they don't name their babies right away. There has to be a period of time that passes so that they can experience and feel the energy of who that baby is before that child actually gets its name. And I think that that's so powerful. And then in other cultures, the elders or an elder has to name that particular child. So there are so many ways. And the reason why we feel that this, this theme or this show today is so important is because we want to place emphasis on the name, on your name, on what it really means. Were you going to say something else?
No.
Yeah. I just wanted to kind of bring some light to my own name. And
Please.
I wanted to share a story because I didn't always feel this passionate about names. Those of you who know me know that, my first name is an unusual one. It's Dacia. And if you see it in print, you can use all the pronunciations in the book except for the way I just said it. And I, growing up as a young child, remember hating my name so much. And why did I hate my name? Because I felt like nobody knew how to pronounce it. Like I thought to myself, why couldn't I be named Mary or Anne or Jill, that everybody can just pronounce those names? So Dacia was the name that I was given. And I remember just dreading the first day of school. Why did I dread the first day of school? Because way back when, the way that we were put into our classes, we had to all go into this big auditorium and then you got called to the front of the auditorium to go to the class that was designated for you. And I just remember dreading the first day of school because I knew that sure enough, the principal was going to mispronounce my name. And all I wanted to do in that moment is say, "Floor, open up and take me in." Because it had given me such a complex. And growing up in the islands, of course, naturally having an accent didn't make it any easier, because not only did he mispronounce my name, he mispronounced it with an accent. And I just knew all the kids were going to laugh at me. So every time they called my name, I just shuddered. Yes. And then as we got older and this kept happening, my friends now knew my name and they knew that that wasn't the way to pronounce it. So they started laughing. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I realized how beautiful my name was. And I remember the first time someone said to me, "That is such a beautiful name." It lit me up inside and it made me really begin to rethink, why should I be ashamed of what my name is just because you don't know how to pronounce it? My name meant something. Obviously, my mom took the time to come up with that name. And when I asked her about my name, she told me, "Well, I was going through a magazine and I saw the name and I just thought it was beautiful. And so I named you Dacia." But over the years, I've gotten to understand more about my name. My name it gets its origins. It has a Latin origin and, originally in Romania. And there's also a very large city in Greece called Dacia, and a European car, not the most sexy car, but a car nonetheless, called Dacia. And it has just been one of those stories I've told my younger children over and over again. And they're so intrigued and fascinated by the name that when we went to French Saint Martin and we saw Dacia, the cars, they were just so excited. "Mommy, there's your car, there's your name." So over the years, I have come to really embrace my name, embrace what it means to me, and I don't have a problem correcting you if you say it incorrectly, because I understand it's a very unusual name, but at the same time it carries a lot of meaning for me.
I love that story. And I love that you said it lights you up inside to know that your name is Dacia and to hear people say it correctly, which brings me to a point, like, just imagine when you're going on your favorite website, you go onto Amazon.com, they're like, "Welcome back, you're with your name," or you go into your doctor's office, "Hello, your name." It makes you feel good when people remember your name or say your name properly.
Yes, call you by name.
Yes.
That's a very powerful thing. And if you have not really taken the time to research your name, we encourage you to do so. This is the time to embrace the name that you have been given, because it carries a lot of weight,
so much,
whether you believe it or not. And if you love your name, shout it out. Let us know on this platform. One of the things that we wanted to also do is we wanted to also shout out some names and tell you what they mean, as well as we're talking about name and we're bringing this theme to light. So,
I think we should do that.
Let's do that.
Some of the names that we have.
So some of the names that we have, if you are named Abayomi, which is an African name, and I've certainly seen people name that, it means she brings joy. So the female Abayomi, a Nigerian background, she brings joy. And a boy can also be named Abayomi, which also means bringer of happiness. Isn't that wonderful to know that your name means joy? So how do you show up in life?
Show up and carry yourself every single day. You have to walk that out,
My name means joy.
It means joy. And even the meaning, not even just the meaning, it's a feeling that it brings when a person that loves you just thinks of you, or just a person that you just met, the person that you shared your name with, and then you may never see them again, but years later you come up with that memory of you comes up in their mind just by remembering your name, your face too, but hearing your name, it brings such a good feeling. So just carry, yourself.
Carry that with pride.
With pride, with
most
so
definitely.
much pride.
Most definitely. And let's do another one.
Another name we have is, we have so many names on this list. I like this name, Kaylani. It means the baby who will a lifting. Okay, let's see. A lifting meaning sea and sky. We have this written a little bit weird, but it also means a baby who will travel the world.
Jeez.
So what will you be doing as you're traveling the world? Like, you're not just, travel the world to see the beauty. There's so many beauties and wonders in the world, but maybe you're set out to do such a great mission in this life by traveling the world and meeting so many new people.
Absolutely. So Kaylani, if you're out there, travel the world.
Yeah.
That's what your name means. Yeah. One of them that I really liked when we were researching this, Soren.
Oh my gosh, that one too.
Soren.
I love that one too.
Are you named Soren?
Yeah.
Are there any Sorens out there? If you're a Soren, and the name itself is just so powerful when you say it.
I love that.
Soren is a powerful baby boy meaning thunder. What strength? What strength?
Yeah.
Yes. Soren.
I love that.
So Soren, though, you're a loud baby and you let us know that you're awake because your name literally means thunder.
Yeah.
This is just so intriguing and so important to be really shedding light on names. We all have names. We all carry a name with us. But sadly, there are so many people out there who do not live up to their name. Half of them don't even know what their names mean.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than half of the people out there.
Or maybe they feel like, why was I named this? Like it just doesn't feel right to them. Like something inside doesn't feel right. And that's why it's okay to change your name. In the Bible, that happened so many times. Abram was changed to Abraham. Sarai changed to Sarah. You evolve. You become a new person.
Yes.
Even God has so many different names, and all those names
Elohim,
remind us
Adonai,
of who He is.
Jireh. If you have a relationship with God, you at any given time, depending on what you need, you call out that name that really resonates with you in that moment. Yes. And I love that Star Brianna brings up evolution because, hey, look, if you're paying attention, if you're in the United States and you're paying attention, one thing, this week stuck out for me. Never did I ever, one of those moments when you think, never did I ever. Well, never did I ever think that I would live to see the day when the Dollar Tree, and every city you've gone to, I'm sure you've seen a Dollar Tree, that green and white sign that just kind of resonates with some of us,
not
especially Dollar General, but Dollar Tree, and you know it by its green and white sign. So what I'm trying to say is that even businesses carry a name that exemplifies who they are. But never did I ever would have thought I would live to see the Dollar Tree no longer be the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has now raised their prices to $1.25. And if you are a consumer of the Dollar Tree, write to me in the comments and tell me how you feel about that.
Because it might not seem so significant, but it will.
Oh, it makes a difference.
It makes such a difference.
It makes a difference, particularly to the patrons of the Dollar Tree who, obviously go there. I mean, I've gone to the Dollar Tree before. Star used to tease me all the time and say, Mommy, you just love the Dollar Tree. I absolutely do. Because, I love a good bargain. And there are some things that you can get from the Dollar Tree.
Good things.
Yeah. And that you would go to another retailer and they have the exact same thing, but charging double to what you can get in the Dollar Tree. But never did I ever think that I would see that 25 cents. And I'm advocating for the little guys here. I'm advocating for the people who are on a fixed income, the people who don't have much of a means to an end, the people who rely on the Dollar Tree being $1 so that they can get the things that they need. And so now that its prices have been raised,
what about us? Yeah.
Keeping in tune with the evolution,
Yeah.
let's just say that the Dollar Tree has had to evolve with the times. You know, we're in an inflation. Prices are high. Everything is going high. And so the Dollar Tree said, hey,
we have to go high too.
We've got to evolve. We've got to evolve. So I wonder if they're going to change their name to Dollar Tree 25.
That would be interesting to see.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
so
this is great.
This is wonderful. So we just thought that it might be important for us to let you know that we see you, that your name is power, your name is important, and that it is important for you to really think about what your name means. And if you don't know, spend some time, over the coming days to ask your, your parents or whoever raised you or named you. Ask them about your name. Ask them about what the origin of your name might be, why they chose that name for you. Again, your name is power. Your name is powerful.
A story. Also, just like getting nicknames, like somebody might give you this nickname, and another person give you another nickname is tied to like a funny memory or something that you guys did together.
Yes, absolutely. So we are here for your questions. And so we think that it's a good time for us to get right into it. We have a bunch of pre-questions that were sent to us prior to the broadcast. But we also want to ask that, you all as well take some time to put a question or two in the comment for us. And, also tell us what you think about this broadcast, what you think about our shows. Have you been watching our previous episodes? We would love to really hear from you as we get into it, as we get into these questions. So you want to take the first one?
Okay. I've left him because the relationship was toxic and abusive. I've moved on with my life, but he still affects my life because we have children together. I'm stressed. What can I do?
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and answer that one?
Yeah. That is always hard. It's always a tough thing to when a relationship doesn't work out and people have children together, whether you're married or not. But I think that the thing to pull out here is that the words toxic and abusive. And, we don't advocate for anybody staying in situations like that. Unfortunately, when you recognize that those situations are just that, toxic and abusive, think about how many people are getting hurt in its wake, and especially if you have children. So this person is saying that I did the thing that I was supposed to do, whether for myself and or my children, and I left this relationship, but I'm still stressed out because naturally we still have to co-parent. And I think that one of the things that this person has to understand as it relates to stress is that stress is something that we perceive. It's how we view our situation. And even though this might be something where this person just won't leave you alone, you have to face this person. Maybe you have relocated, but mentally you still carry a lot of the weight of those toxins in that relationship, or you carry the weight of the abuse. Just remember that mentally you can escape as well. So you're saying to us you escape physically, but mentally you're still stressed out. You've got to change your mindset about this situation. What happened in that relationship is not your fault. What happened as a result of you having to leave is an action that you had to take to protect yourself and your children. So now you got to free your mind.
And just remember that, like we're talking about freedom, you actually took the step and left, So just keep remembering that, keep playing that in your mind,
I mean, you're not going to be able to control what this person might say, what this person might try to do. But the moment the person sees that they have an impact on you, they know which buttons to push, and they're going to continue to push them. But it takes two to tango. And if you're not paying that person any mind, particularly when that person begins to act a certain way, maybe they're calling you out of your name, and it's fitting. We're talking about names today. It's not what they call you, it's what you respond to.
Yeah.
And so when I say free your mind, I literally mean you have taken back your life. Now give your mind an opportunity to be free as well by changing the way you think about this situation, by setting the proper boundaries. If you can't approach me in a mature way, if you cannot speak to me in a mature way as co-parents, then you don't speak to me at all. And you don't have to respond to that person.
Yeah.
When they call, when they do whatever they need to do, that is them. That is their prerogative. You control you. Herein lies your locus of control.
Exactly. You
Yes.
took back your power. This was reminding me of the verse
Yes.
that God gave us, the power, self-love, a sound mind. I mean, not self-love, but self-discipline, a sound mind.
Yes.
And power, love, and a
sound mind.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So use all those three things.
Yes.
And free yourself.
Free your mind.
Know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you have to remember one thing before we wrap up this question. One thing, never ever forget this. Nobody can control your mind.
Yeah.
You're the one that gives over your power by allowing them to. No one can control your mind.
Yeah.
So just remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for your question. I hope this was helpful. And you know, sometimes it might not be as easy as that. So we encourage you to work with a professional. You know, last week we gave a lot of resources as to how you can find a counselor or a therapist or somebody that can really help you through this difficult transition, you and your children.
Yeah.
So thank you for sending that in. Yeah. So we have another question. This question reads, again, go ahead and place your questions in the comment box, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We love to hear your questions. This one says, I am responsible for the care of my mom and it's stressing me out. She never appreciates anything I do. She says very hurtful things, but I still have to be there for her. My siblings have abandoned me. They refuse to help me with her care. How do I cope with this never-ending cycle of stress? Woo.
That one is heavy.
That one is very heavy.
Challenging.
Yes. You want to take the first stab at it?
I guess I will bring it back to our names that we're talking about today. We each have a purpose. Your siblings have left you, but this is your purpose. Your mom, you know, birthed you. You know, you just sometimes you just have to, you know, do certain things in life that hurt you, that are difficult, but you're always gonna, you know, you're always gonna reap some sort of benefit from it. You're not doing it for the benefit, but you will. God will always reward you, especially for looking after your mother. You know, He will always be there for you.
Absolutely.
He never will give you too much that you can bear. Literally, even though it feels like that, just keep reminding yourself how strong you are to be taking on such a challenge and to not give up on the challenge. You know,
and to even be given this challenge that's before you. You got to ask yourself each day, you know, what's my purpose in this? What do I value about this situation? I mean, sometimes it's hard for us to really get past when somebody is saying negative and mean things to us and hurtful things, you know, i.e. our loved ones, the person that birthed us, the person that's supposed to be, you know, the one who loves us unconditionally. But the unfortunate thing is that's not always so. And many of you out there are actually dealing with this situation, you know, the sandwich generation, meaning that you might be caring for your children, and you then have to care for your elderly and aging parents or loved ones. And then there's you in the middle. And it becomes quite challenging, particularly for those challenging loved ones. I'll just call them that. And so here's this person feeling completely abandoned, feeling as if there's no one else to help her in this very, and I will add, very difficult assignment. Let's just call it an assignment. And wondering, what's my way out of this? Well, I encourage you to not look for a way out of it, but ask for more strength to endure. Because like Star Brianna said, your rewards will be great. And if you are somebody who is a Christian, you know that, not only that we don't get more than we can bear, but we also get the grace to deal with every situation that comes our way, particularly if it is grounded in purpose.
Exactly. And grace is a beautiful word.
Oh,
because
yeah.
even in your hurting, you just get frustrated, like, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. And then you start to feel guilty, like some things that maybe you're playing in your mind. But grace is so beautiful.
Yes, grace is so beautiful. And I remember, I'm just thinking about, as we're talking about this theme about names, name also brings honor. That's one of the words that we didn't capture in the beginning as we were introducing this, but names bring honor. So think about your purpose and the honor that you are walking in by honoring your elderly loved ones. Honoring them, even the Bible clearly talks about honoring your father and your mother, and your days will be long. That's not just for naught. That is actually a powerful verse, a powerful statement. And even if you're not somebody who subscribes to the Bible, that honor is throughout every generation. When you think about being honorable, and it doesn't mean because these people have harmed you, they've abused you, they've done whatever they've done to you, it is your role to remain honorable. Honorable does not mean that you get disrespected. So I hear that this person in this question is saying, my mom, says nasty things to me, all of those kinds of things. A lot of times we have to set the proper boundaries. And even though your mom might be your mom, you can still set boundaries with that person. Remember, this is a relationship, and relationships have to be defined. Expectations have to be set so that we all get along. I'm here to take care of you. I'm not here to get beaten up on. I'm not the garbage can for you to dump all your stuff into. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to take care of you. But you're going to have to talk to me in a respectful way.
In a nicer way. Like, look who's being there for you right now.
You look around and I'm still here. So that's got to tell you something. So that honor means that no matter what's happening, you're staying true to your purpose. You're staying true to who you are. You're staying true to what you were asked to do for such a time as this. Because guess what? The tide will turn. This too will pass. And look at the longevity of your life that this will bring because you stayed in honor. And hey, if you have children, just remember this is a cycle, the cycle of life. And one day,
someone to be there for
you may be the one that might need the help. So just stay in faith, but set the boundaries. Don't let anybody abuse you. Don't let anybody beat you up. Keep the boundaries in place, but continue to work through and get some respite. It doesn't have to be family members. Hey, sometimes certain people are just not made for a job, and they know this, and so they walk away. Just because they walk away don't mean that you should not give yourself respite. There are many, many resources and services, and hey, if you have friends, sometimes all they want you to do is ask and say, what do you need? Maybe a friend can come and sit with your mom at some point in time so you can go and have 30 minutes or an hour to yourself. Ask for support. Surround yourself with supportive people. That's going to help you to manage your stress much better.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
I hope we answered that question.
Yeah, me too. Do we have anything in the chat that's come in? I don't know if anybody's posted anything. Hey, Instagram, YouTube, all of you, tell us what you're thinking about this. And if you have any questions, we'll stick around for a few more minutes because we want to be helpful. We want to be able to answer them. I think we have time for one more, just to kind of give you guys a chance if you're still thinking about your question. This one that came in was a little comical for me. I'm going to let Star Brianna read it.
Okay. Straightforward. Who should pay on the first date?
This person went straight to the point.
Who should pay on the first date? What do you think? What do you think?
Hey, this question can go all around and still come back to who should pay. So, I don't know. I want you to take it from the millennial perspective. and then I'll just give the general perspective.
I think the millennial perspective is the general perspective because either way, it can still cycle. The question can still toss and spin and keep going around and around and around. And both people are just looking at each other like, are you going to pay? Are you going to pay?
Oh, gosh.
So it doesn't really change,
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, who do you think should pay? Well, from your perspective, not, the millennials, the older people, whatever. Who do you think should pay on the first date?
You're on a first date. You're on a date in general.
Mhm.
I mean, some dates are fun, and all dates should be fun. But what I'm thinking, like, you want to feel like a lady, like you want to feel like romanced, So you want the man to pay. You want the man to you want to feel like the man is your man, You want. I mean, even if you guys are not full on like.
Well, I don't know if I'm your man.
I don't know if I'm your
taking
man,
you
but
on a date. I don't know what's going to happen
You
here.
can still just be the man, and just offer like, hey, no, I'm gonna pay for this, like,
Maybe I wasn't brought up that way. Maybe nobody ever told me that I was supposed to pay.
If you weren't brought up that way, then that's fine. But then it goes back to the woman. Are you okay with that? That's why the question can keep going around and around. It just depends on what you're okay with.
Yes.
Because you can be okay with that, and that's fine too.
Yes.
You can be that understanding person, or even maybe be like, I really like this person, but he just really doesn't have the money, and maybe he really doesn't. It depends on how you feel.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Take all of this confusion out of it.
Mm-hmm.
First date, have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
But everybody come prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you leave the house and you don't have your wallet or your purse with some emergency funds that you can take care of your share of the bill. Mm-hmm. Or if it goes left and he or she walks out, that you can still cover the check. Mm-hmm. I think that when we talk about first dates, conversations should happen. People should have expectations of what to expect from this first date. So we're just meeting up. Maybe you met on an app. Maybe you met on a dating site. Maybe you met through a friend. Mm-hmm. And you're just assuming just because he's the guy that he's going to pay. Mm-hmm. Look, this is a period of really seeking and searching and looking for signs. So if you're a traditionalist, you're a traditional woman, and you've been raised in such a way that the gentleman should be the gentleman and this guy ain't paying, mm-hmm. he's not for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So have your money ready to cover your bill. Mm-hmm. If he's looking at you and you're looking at him, well, can we have separate checks, please? Mm-hmm. And take care of it.
Yeah, it really.
And that's just that. Yeah, it just depends. Yes, because traditionalists feel like I should be treated like a lady. Mm-hmm. The gentleman should pay. But there are some who feel like we're on a date, mm-hmm. but we're just feeling each other out. Mm-hmm. So we both are going to go, what is it called? Dutch? We're going Dutch here. You pay for yours, I'll pay for mine. Yeah. So that's one of those questions that you can kind of get into a space. Don't put yourself in that position. Mm-hmm. If it's your first time going out with someone, always be prepared. Yeah. Always make sure that you have enough to cover yourself and maybe even the whole bill if things go, left. Yeah. But I think conversations.
Expect the unexpected.
Of course. Yeah. But I think conversations should always be had about, things that like this, mm-hmm. that you don't put yourself in a position to kind of look.
That's why I love straightforwardness. Like, I love this question. Just mm-hmm. ask questions, get to know the person.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it means not going to restaurant extravaganza the first time, because if we're not clear who's paying here and the bill comes up to $200 and neither one of you have it, mm-hmm. somebody's going to be washing some dishes. Yeah. So I would suggest, to answer this question as best as possible, have a conversation ahead of time, know the expectations, but also come prepared.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yes, indeed. All right. Awesome. So I see a couple of comments coming in, but no questions here yet. You guys have been absolutely wonderful, absolutely gracious. Star Brianna, any closing thoughts about names as we wrap this up? Thank you guys so much for being here today. You guys are so wonderful. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You guys are awesome. Remember to tell a friend, bring a friend. We're here to support you, to answer your questions. Theme for today, what's in a name? We're going to give the wrap up now.
Yeah, I love this topic so much because it's our name that we carry with us throughout our whole life. Even if we change it in the middle of our life or whenever, like, it's our name. So we should want to just carry a certain dignity about it and just embrace our purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Star Brianna, I think there's a comment on YouTube there. Mom's eyes can't really see what's happening here. Yeah, Star's going to take your question or your comment.
Yes. So, coffee date is good at first to feel one another out. I love that.
Yes, thank you for that comment. You are absolutely right. Yes, we definitely have to feel people out because we just don't know who's out here these days. Yeah. And sometimes you can't really feel them out through the app or through online or even through a friend. You've got to go in person and feel them out. So I love your comment. Thank you. Coffee dates are actually good. Yeah. Coffee dates are good for mother-daughters too. Yeah. All right, sorry about that. So go ahead and give your wrap up.
No, so I think what's yours?
Yeah. So in closing, as we were here today talking about what's in a name, I want to share with you a quote by Roy T. Bennett. And he said, accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. You know, your name should carry weight. Your name should absolutely carry power because that's what it is. Your name is power, regardless of what it is. It should be the one thing that you have to be proud of, to carry. It lifts you up. It gives you wings. Even if your name has been dragged through the mud, stomped on, you should be the one to proudly give your name the credence it deserves and command others to do the same. Command others to give your name the respect that it deserves. So don't you look to the left. Don't you look to the right. Remember, look forward, look up. For the one that bears the name above every other name knows who you are and whose you are. So I want to tell you to walk proudly in your light and shine because your name carries power. Carry your name with pride and dignity. Remember to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. When you like us and you subscribe, you help this channel and you help us go further to reach other people who might need to hear this inspiration. We thank you so much for being here with us today, and we will see you next week on Ask the Talk Doctor Live. Bye. Thank you for being here.
We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week.
Bye.